Hello listeners, Jordan here. I just want to let you know that you can listen to Nighttime early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Include it with Prime.
You are listening to the Nighttime Podcast.
Hello listeners and welcome back to Nighttime series covering the strange story of the Halifax Leather Glove Guy. In our prior episode, we got very serious and focused on that time the glove guy went a few steps too far and the criminal charges that followed. Tonight, we're going to shift our focus back to the more typical glove guy encounter. And again, we're going to offer glove guy survivors a platform to share their experiences. So with all that said, hop in and let's go for a free ride. Tonight in this episode of Nighttime, Madelayne Klein and I are again going to explore 4 stranger-than-fiction stories of the glove guy. Mrs. Madelayne Klein, fancy meeting you here.
Hello. It's been a while.
It has been a while. We've been busy. I've been masquerading around Florida, and you've been juggling motherhood and actually, I think just motherhood.
Yeah, that's it. My life is Groundhog Day.
It is, eh? The episode we're going to get into tonight is one that I've been so excited about for so long because it is another collection of glove guy stories. And a couple of these are ones that I've been holding on to for like 2 years, waiting for the proper time to do an episode, including them. We're here and oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm falling over my words because I can't wait to get into this.
I have been looking forward to this because our last episode was bizarre. And you said the stuff you've got for this one is even better. And I'm like, how do you get better than that?
You wait. And we're going to end with a very special treat that everybody has been requesting who listens to this series and follows this story. So let's just get right into it. I'll kind of present this in the similar way as we did in our last recording with the Glove Guy stories. Along the same lines as our Encounter with Creeps series, we have a couple stories via voice memo of people who've had the unusual encounter of meeting Halifax's infamous late-night glove salesman. Let's jump right in. The first fella we're going to meet knew a little bit about Glove Guy when he encountered him, and he's a self-fashioned bar star. This is somebody who spends a lot of time in Halifax nightclubs. So again, no stranger to the Glove Guy phenomenon. Listen to this. Give me a bit of background on who you are, just to set the picture here.
I'm a 25-year-old, recently graduated student living in Halifax, Nova Scotia, with a couple run-ins with downtown Halifax per week on average. So I mean, my sort of encounters are not necessarily limited.
So you're going to tell me a story of one of the encounters you had with this guy. So when was it that you first encountered the Glove Guy?
Well, basically, I've heard the Glove Guy legend since about high school, but I really only lived and experienced it fully last winter on a fateful Friday night at Boomers there on Argyle.
So paint the picture. Tell me what happened that night.
All right. Well, basically, I guess I'll just go for it. So, like I said, it was a cold December night at Boomers, and I was out with a couple buddies. So it just like started out like any regular night. We're at Boomers dancing. I just see this guy in the corner just hitting all kinds of crazy dance moves. It was actually pretty impressive. So towards the end of the night, I sort of asked one of the bouncers, I was like, is this guy like a regular or like, what's this guy's deal? He goes, well, I mean, have you ever heard of the Glove Guy? And then so at that point, I'm like, no way. Like, this guy's real. Like, this is actually the Glove Guy. So one of my buddies I was with, I told him, I was like, yo, this is the Glove Guy. Like, I mean, no way. And he's shit-faced. Immediately he goes up and starts talking to him. Nothing I could do would sort of prevent him from going and sort of seeing what was up with this guy. So he goes up to him, and I guess at this point we're fresh out of money. We just wasted all of our money on booze. So it was freezing cold. We had no ride home. So I guess my buddy goes up and asks him for a ride home, and quote unquote, he looks him in the face with these huge pupils and just goes, yes, you can. So my buddy waves us over. This guy's like, he does like the whole jiu-jitsu MMA thing. So I felt pretty safe. I mean, this guy's like early 50s. I'd like to think there's not a whole lot he could do to us physically, but we'd probably be okay. So anyways, we get to this guy's car. As we were walking over, we met up with two of our buddies who I knew from hockey. And one of them was, he's a good-looking guy. He's definitely, he's not hard on the eyes. And so when we get to the car, we get to this guy's van, and this is probably where shit started to get a little weird. And Glove Guy points at our good-looking buddy. He goes, "You got to get in the front seat." He goes, "I'd rather just sit in the back." He goes, "Get in shotgun now." And so at that point, so that was enough for two of our buddies to just go, we're leaving. Mm-hmm. So they walk away, and so at this point, it's just me and my buddy, the fighter. And so we're still just sort of laughing our ass off. We live super close. He can only be in the car for 2 minutes. What more can this guy do? Mm-hmm. So he before we really leave, he just starts saying weirder and weirder shit. Just pulls out the gloves. Of course, asks my buddy to try them on. He just cracks up. Doesn't sort of give in. And then a little bit, probably a minute more of this, and then my buddy goes, "All right, this is just too weird." So he dips, and then at this point it's just me, and I'm sitting there sort of baffled, just hammered out of my mind. And he turns around to me with the weirdest fucking look I've ever seen in my entire life, and goes like, "Do you want a party?" And he goes into his glove box and pulls out this plastic bag, and then it all makes sense. So I'm not going to take a ride from this guy. So I get out of the car, I let him drive away. I was like, okay, Glove Guy's totally real. Everything everyone said is totally right.
I love that story.
I love how he was all in.
Yeah.
He found out it was Glove Guy and was like, I'm getting a ride.
Yeah, he knew the assignment. But, if you knew what you were doing, it would be fun, especially if you're with your MMA friend or your fighter friend. You don't got a lot to worry about.
Didn't take you off guard.
Yeah. What was your favorite part of the story? Mine was, what's with this guy dancing? I could picture someone just dancing like a maniac alone. That's the unit. You heard of that Glove Guy?
Yes. We have one of those in Regina. We have this guy, and I just think he's an absolute clown. But he's just kind of known just to be places and dancing. He dances on the corner of the street, but then he's also at all these concerts. And they call him Dancing Bob.
Okay, he just dances like a maniac?
Yes. And I don't find it funny at all because I just think he's such a clown. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that's what I'm picturing is this middle-aged guy dancing like a buffoon. Mm-hmm. I like when he tells the best looking one to ride shotgun.
Getting shotgun.
You.
Where does the term shotgun come from? That's the front passenger seat of a car. I've always known it as shotgun. Do you know anything about it? Obviously, it's the same way in Regina, Saskatchewan.
Well, I imagine it goes back to when people rode in the car with the shotgun. The person in the front seat held it and shot whatever you were going to shoot.
Was there a time in history where you just had a shotgun in the front seat and you had gloves in your glove box?
In southern Saskatchewan, I bet it's still like that.
That's a good point. Yeah, I forget where you live. There's probably lots of shotguns and cars over there. But this story, I like it because it's fun. It's harmless. He knew what he was getting into.
Yeah.
Glove Guy didn't have a chance with these guys. Even in the telling of his stories, he did the whole thing. He brought the gloves out, tried to get us to try them on. That was just an afterthought in the story, where some of the other stories we've heard, that was the traumatic, shocking event. This guy's, it was fun. And he sent me.
It sounds like they never left the location. They got in the car, but they never left. So he was never trapped.
Yeah,
that's a good point. He could leave whenever he wanted.
Yeah, man. I would, if I had the chance, I would want to do that. I think
what a fun social experiment.
Seriously. I'm going to take you on a weird trip for this next one. We're going to go way back in time to the 1980s in Halifax. So this is interesting because this story came to me initially via our Encounters with Creep series. So you and I, for the last, year or two, have been putting together episodes where listeners of Nighttime share with us encounters with creeps from their past. Things like ex-boyfriends, weird first dates, creepy neighbors, strangers, creepy coworkers, all sorts of things. Someone had sent in a story to us for consideration for the Encounters with Creep series, and I'm 99% sure this is a Glove Guy story from the 1980s. So this is possibly like almost like his origin story. But this is different because it's not a man. All the other stories we've heard, the subject of Glove Guy's attention was male. In this case, it's a female. You listen to this and you tell me if you think this is Glove Guy circa 1980. And I should just say, for like, she mentions in the story a couple like streets and bars and stuff in Halifax. She's describing the exact same area that all the other stories have taken place in. So listen to
His
this.
old stomping grounds.
Exactly.
Hey there. First, I want to say my husband and I love to listen to your podcast in northern Alberta while watching the sunsets in the summer or driving to Grand Prairie in the winter. My creep story is from when I was a student nurse at the VGH in 1982. We had been throwing off some steam at a bar named Cabbage Town on Spring Garden Road. We were a group of 5, and after a great time, we decided it was, late and we needed to go home. 3 of us girls went ahead, but my other friend could not find her purse. So we searched for it to no avail. So I said, well, let's just go home, Terry. And it's time, and it's gone. And that's when a very tall, large, muscular man walked up to me and asked what we were searching for. He seemed genuine, so I said, a purse. So he looked around and made some inquiries, but no luck. That's when I said, thanks, but we must leave. Thanks anyway. He said, well, I'll walk you home. Oh no, oh my God, what am I going to do here now? He was about 6'4" and over 250 pounds, and I was all of 100 pounds and very tiny. I said, no need, but he insisted. And there really was not much I could do, so off we went. Being young and wanting to be polite, I had to accept the offer. So we walked through the park on the way to the residence, and that's when my friend decided that she would run ahead thinking someone had returned her purse, thus leaving me alone with this guy. I carried on pretending to be somewhat interested with polite chit-chat, but I was very afraid. He reached into his pocket and pulled out some leather gloves. He started to put them on and said, a young girl like you should not be walking on the streets unattended. And with each word he was jamming the gloves on harder and harder. Oh my God. My only thought was, he's going to strangle me. And why did she leave me alone with this guy? OMG. But he didn't. And when we got back to the residence, I was beyond relieved. As I was getting the door, he grabbed me and said, oh, you're coming out with me. And that's when things turned. That's when I got a little bit forceful and I said, of course I'm not. I don't know you and I don't feel safe. There was quite the discussion and I had to agree to call him the next day so that I could at least get through the residence door. Of course, I never did call him. A few months later, I saw him back at Cabbage Town because I stayed away for quite some time. And he saw me. And then he proceeded to glare at me, but he never approached me, and that was okay. So that's my creep story from 1984.
So first, before we compare and contrast her story with the kind of the elements and concepts of a typical Glove Guy encounter, was she not the sweetest lady?
I could listen to her all day.
Yeah, she was adorable. I'd like to hear her describe a recipe. That's what it seems like you gotta have the voice for. So she describes herself 40 years ago attending like a nursing school at the VG hospital in Halifax. She's attending a bar, or she's at a bar blowing off steam, Cabbage Town, and on Spring Garden Road in downtown Halifax. When she
Is it still
encounters,
there?
it's not there anymore. It hasn't been for 35 years or something.
Okay.
She encounters a man she describes as, I don't know, Glove Guy. I've never heard him described as this giant, huge man. But the people
But
we
he's
hear,
also always sitting.
yeah, and the people we hear describe Glove Guy are generally 6'4", 250-pound guys. So maybe it's not as relevant. But let's think about some differences and similarities between her story and the others we heard. The biggest, most striking difference, other than the passage of time, is she's a female, where our others are males. Can you think of a similarity?
A couple. So obviously the gloves, but the phone call the next day.
Yes, not only the gloves, but the idea of like forcing your hand into the glove hard. It seems to be a Glove Guy
Yes.
cliche
And
or trope.
and specifically leather gloves.
Yeah, the trope of like getting your hand into a leather glove that's too small is a glove guy trope. We heard on part one in this trilogy, we heard the story of the guy who glove guy didn't want him to get out of the car until he got till glove guy got his number, and he eventually left that crazy voice memo. When she's describing, I had to give him my number before I could go before he'd let me leave. That's immediately where my mind went to. Like, whoa, that's a thing.
Yeah. And one of the only differences there would be, other than this victim's a woman, he didn't have a car
Hmm.
in 82 or 84 or whenever it was.
Whenever it was, yeah. But
So,
it's still like kind
yeah.
of like junior. If this is like young man glove guy, it would kind of make sense. He doesn't yet have a car. But he's still kind of doing the same thing, like escorting them to being like a good,
Yes.
because he often, it seems to be anyway, that he kind of does something between like a favor and a job of getting these people out of downtown. Walking her home, there doesn't seem to be any reason for him to do that other than this sort of being a nice guy. I'll help you find your purse. I'll get you
Yes.
guys home. It's a similar kind of trope, as is we should party. He wanted to party with her. A lot of people who've shared Glove Guy stories with us, it's like he's trying to turn this doing a favor, getting you home into I run a business. I sell gloves. We should party. Look what I got here. These party favors. Like it's all the elements to the glove guy story are here 40 years before
Yes.
the rest of them that we heard.
Well, and the differences could be just that it was this, the kink was in like the embryo stage. He was still figuring it out. Maybe he didn't know he liked men at that point. Or all
Mm.
of the other victims, they had to wear the gloves, but in this one he was wearing the gloves. So maybe he didn't realize yet that it was like, I need to watch
Wow.
other people wear
That's
them.
another thing I didn't think of. In this story, he's the one forcing his hand into the glove.
Yeah. So
Wow.
maybe he
We
was
need to
just
get a
finding
psychol
himself.
we need to run this story by a psychologist. Uh, Is it a glove guy story? It's certainly a glove guy story. Is it the glove guy? Jury's
How
out.
many could there be
Well,
in
leather.
Halifax, no
That's a good
less?
point. A leather glove fetish, or a leather fetish, can't be completely unusual, but it's just in that same area with so many of those same elements. I don't know. I think I wish
And
she had
it's
a.
it's not like one of those latex leather suits. It's gloves specifically.
Mm, that's a good point. I got another one for you. I have so many of these for you. I'm too excited not to jump to the next one because this is a really good one. This one's on the longer side, but it is because the person sharing the story is so detailed. I even had to edit this down because initially it was maybe 15 minutes. I edit some parts out, got it to about 10 minutes, but he gives so many details, and his glove guy encounter is just bananas. He didn't know who Glove Guy is, or he did not know who Glove Guy was because he was from Newfoundland visiting Nova Scotia, and he ends up in this situation. But oh my God, buckle up for this one. I'll just tell you that now. Here we
I
go.
hope he has an accent too.
He doesn't. I'm sorry to let you down.
Damn.
Um, my name is Tom. I'm from Newfoundland. Moved to Halifax. Probably it was around September 2017. My encounter with the Glove Man was last Halloween, so October of 2018. So me and two buddies met up downtown, and so it was Friday night. And of course, one thing leads to another. It ends up being a pretty late evening. Lots of beer were drank. And at this point, it's probably quarter to 3 a.m. in the morning. And it's just absolutely pouring out. It's a busy weekend because it was Halloween. So there was just, people everywhere trying to get shelter from the rain. And there was no chance we were going to get a cab anytime soon. I would say it was probably quarter after 3 when I said, all right, guys, I'm going to go get us a cab. And I'm there waiting, hood up in the rain, just trying to get a cab. When an SUV pulls up and the window goes down and a man, he yells out, he's asks if you if I needed a ride. And I'm a pretty trusting guy. Coming from small town Newfoundland, Labrador, so you think the best of people sometimes when you really shouldn't. So, anyways, it's pouring, and I'm saying, sure, let's. I get in his passenger seat. He's saying, yeah, he just got off work. He's heading home, and then he gave me a ride home, and he asked for, I guess, $20, and I said, perfect, like whatever, I don't care, just get home out of it. And then I told him, I said, I've got two buddies at Pizza Corner. Do you mind picking them up? And he was a bit hesitant at first. At the time, I didn't know why. But then he's like, yeah, no problem. We'll go get them.
Just want to stop for one sec. I may have explained this before, but for people who aren't from Halifax, you may hear Pizza Corner and you think, what the hell's that? In the center of downtown Halifax, in the area where all the bars are, there's an intersection where there's a pizza shop on every corner. So people call it Pizza Corner. And often when bars get out, people just kind of gather at Pizza Corner. There's a big crowd there. And so it's just kind of like a landmark of Halifax nightlife. So I just want to say that for people like, Pizza Corner, what the hell is that? Let's get back to it. He's with Glove Guy. They're about to go back to Pizza Corner to pick up the other friends that he left behind to go find a cab. Here we go.
So I texted the guys. I said, I got us a ride. We'll be there in a couple minutes or whatever. It's an SUV. It's not a cab. Anyways, he starts telling me he sells gloves on the side. Like he has a little bit of a side hustle. And in my mind, I was like, I gotta hear this guy's sale pitch. He is kind of getting us out of a jam. So I kind of engaged a little bit, I guess. And I was asking him about it, and he pulled down his glove box and asked me to try on these gloves to see if I liked them. And I was trying to get them on. They were extremely tight, and I've got pretty big hands, and they were not like, I couldn't get them up over I guess my knuckles. And I was like, no, man, these are too small. I can't get them, off or onto my hands. It was a bit of a relief, hoping that would be it. But he hauled out another pair of gloves and said, try these. He was at this point getting a little aggressive. I wouldn't say aggressive, maybe a bit assertive. I put them on. These actually got up over my knuckles. They fit better. They were still extremely, extremely tight. He was after me. It was, make a fist. I need you to stretch it to leather. Make a fist. Make a fist. So I'm there making a fist, not really thinking anything of it. I was like, man, like these are way too tight. Like I don't think I can buy these from you. And then I kind of just hear heavy breathing, and it's kind of like a type of thing, right? As weird as that is to do. And I kind of stop and I look over, and he's got himself kind of pushed up against the door, and I look, and he's kind of like grabbing his jeans pants, like his crotch, and then like pushing down a little bit, I guess. And at that point I was just like, what is going on right now? Like what do I have myself into? Did not know what was like, how to react in that situation or what to do. And as that was happening, as I was starting to realize what was going on, that he was kind of getting off on this, the back doors open, and two of my buddies get in the back seat, and I'm there sitting there with these leather gloves on. They have no idea what's going on.
Want to stop it again. If you're in this position, do you punch the guy? Like, I can't imagine being shocked to silence. I feel my instinct would be to attack.
Fight or flight for sure. And I always choose flight. I will run away. I would look at my friends and be like, "Get out, we're leaving."
Run. This guy, like, I would be
Go,
out of
go,
there.
other way. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I guess it'd be like I would be kind of opening the door, pushing it with my shoulder, while throwing the punch, and rolling out, and all the while yelling to my friends, like, "Run! He's a leather glove fetishist."
Leave the
Anyway,
weak behind. Go.
but that is not what happens. His friends get in the car, and he's left speechless. This situation, I'm turning grayer just listening and imagining being in this situation. But let's get back in the car with them and see where this goes.
And they're sitting there with these leather gloves on. They have no idea what's going on. I'm kind of in shock, and he kind of sits back down in the seat, and he smiles, and he puts the car in drive, and just peels out of there. So the guys have no idea what's going on. They're in the back seat. He's chatting them up like nothing happened, and I'm just there in silence, slowly taking off these gloves and drop them on the ground or on the floor. So he's going down, peels around a corner, going down, I think, Sackville Street. And he starts, getting faster and faster in the car, and the boys are just, chatting him up like they're two friendly guys. And again, I'm just kind of just like sitting there, not really knowing how to approach this, because, we are in this guy's car right now. I would say we were probably going north of 140, between 140 and 150. Again, the boys in the back had no idea what was going on. They were getting a kick out of it. They were, cracking jokes back there, being like, when the NASCAR race starts and that type of stuff. And, in my mind, I'm just like, we've got ourselves in a situation here. How do we get out? How do we figure our way out of this? So I see the turnoff to North Street in the distance, to see the lights, and I was like, so that's the tell. If we don't take a left onto North Street, this guy's going to drive us into the harbor or take us to his lair. Like God knows what is going to happen. But anyways, he kind of slowed down and he peeled, took a left onto North Street, thank God, and he dropped us off and at my apartment building, and me and my one buddy got out. He gave him $20, and we were in the lobby of my apartment building, and I was like, where's our other buddy to? And I look out, he's still in the SUV talking to him, and I'm just like, we've got to get him out of there. And my buddy I was with, he was like, why? What's going on? What happened? I was like, that's not a good situation going on right now. And so I went out and I got to the SUV and I kind of put my hand on his shoulder and he was kind of giving him back his phone. He put his number in his phone and my buddy looked back at me and he kind of seen my face and he knew something was wrong with this situation. So anyways, we got him out of the SUV and then we went up back to my apartment upstairs and I explained to them what happened and they couldn't believe it. It was like we were probably talking about it for an hour. We were up till 4 a.m., 5 a.m. just kind of like just going through the details of it all and all that. And by the end of it, I was like, boys, we can't tell anybody this story. I was like, this is so like such an outrageous story. I was like, nobody's going to believe us. Like, no, like who in their right mind does this thing? And, so we kind of left it at that. We kept it between three of us. I sent you screenshots of this in your Instagram. He sent my buddy a text and it's completely, it's not very, doesn't really make much sense. It's kind of just thanking us and said he really liked meeting us and kind of offered more rides into the future. And then again, the following week, it was, a text came in at I would say 1 a.m. and he was saying, if you need a ride home, let me know, and I'll be there to pick you up. So anyway, so that was it. That was the only contact I guess we had with him uh, post encounter. Yeah. So anyways, we kind of left it. We kept it between three of us, and probably a month and a half to 2 months passed by, and one of the guys were out with their coworkers for happy hour on a Friday evening or something like that, and someone brought up the Halifax leather glove man, and he was like, wait a minute," and they kind of got them to explain a little more, and he pieced it together, and he goes, well, my buddy and us kind of had a similar experience, and he showed him all these Reddit feeds and all the YouTube videos and all the stuff online about him, and then I seen your podcast come on, and I listened to it, and I heard the voice recordings, and it just all brought it back. Oh,
Oh, but he sounds so nice. I feel so
Yeah.
bad for him.
Well,
Like,
does he not sound traumatized? The way he's telling the story, it's like he's describing, well, for one, a traumatic event, but also a part of it, it reminds me of like you watching like a documentary and there's some guy like recounting the time he was like abducted by an alien or something, by a UFO or something. And he's like, we were going to keep it the secret and, did this and did that. That's the way it comes across to me. Like this guy saw something unbelievable and was going to keep it a secret until he found others like him on Reddit and on this podcast. And now he's coming
well,
forward.
and he's like, you can tell he's kind of thinking about it, and he like nervously laughs
Yeah.
because it's like so bizarre and ridiculous. Like,
Yeah. Have you ever been, well, maybe you haven't. You probably have more so been one of the guys in the back seat, but I can relate to him because I'm often, if I go out with any two of my friends, I'm probably the responsible one who is like,
well, yeah, I'm
realizes
not.
something's like not right, where my friends in the back are just like, when's the NASCAR races? Like I can really relate to him realizing we're in a bad situation and his friends just like oblivious in the back seat enjoying the ride.
I can be both.
Okay.
I can, yeah. Like if I need to, I'll say anything to anyone. Like there was I'm remembering very specific time where once we were out of the car and I knew we were safe and like these guys couldn't hurt us, I like let them know exactly
Okay.
where they could go and how to get
Okay.
there.
Well, I think
But I also would be the one barreling into the back seat.
yeah.
And
Woo!
yeah,
Where are we going? I'll buy your gloves,
where are we
buddy.
going? Yeah.
These gloves are great. That said, I don't know if anything would sober you up quite like realizing the guy who's like crawling up the wall of the car is seemingly on the verge of masturbating, if not like walking a fine line between masturbating and stretching out or something.
Well, and
Like,
it's like he described a literal movie scene. Like as soon as he sees this, his friends come barreling
yeah,
in,
like,
all
woo!
drunk, and it's like, oh, he like doesn't know what to do. And
He's
he's
got the
trying to control
gloves
the
on.
situation. Yes.
Yeah, if there
See,
is a,
what I was wondering
yeah.
was do you think this guy was the best looking of the friends and Glove Guy like looked back and was gonna make someone switch to the front seat if someone else
Mm,
was the best looking?
I wonder.
Or
Well,
was Tom really the winner there? He was like, you
well,
can stay.
Tom was the first in the vehicle, and he was like the person telling the story. Tom was the first in the vehicle. He was alone with Glove Guy while waiting for the friends to come. That gave Glove Guy his chance to really do his
That's
thing.
true.
But why he kept the one guy in the back around after, I think, yeah, I don't know. I wonder if that's the best looking guy. The guy he put in Glove Guy, of course, when Tom goes out to rescue his friend, he's in the midst of getting his phone back with Glove Guy's
Oh,
numbers in it. Like they
another
def
movie scene.
yeah.
Like,
It is
well,
so
he for sure was
cinematic.
like, yeah, just give me a call if you guys need a ride. That's
Drive you
how he prefaced
anytime.
it.
Yeah, I'll come right down here. Yeah,
Yeah, because this friend was still completely oblivious.
yeah. It's like, this
And
guy's
like,
great.
sure, yeah. We don't have to wait for a cab.
Yeah. Oh man, I can just so easily project my friends on that situation, and Yeah, I have
But
so
then the
many.
debriefing in the apartment, they're all sitting there. They're like, "Oh my god,
Yeah,
this doesn't leave this room."
we cannot tell anybody.
Yeah.
But I get why. What the hell? Like, if you didn't know that this story, if you didn't know about Glove Guy, yeah, it's unbelievable. His voice memo went on longer than that, and I removed some parts out at the end. But one of the things that he said is like, we considered going to the police, but it's like what he did probably wouldn't cross any boundary of into like,
No crime took place
yeah, but he's like,
aside
no,
from speeding.
yeah, aside from speeding, but it's certainly like it seems unethical and wrong and dangerous. And he says, so like in lieu of going to the police, the next best thing would be to get the story out there so people in Halifax know that this is going on and are able to protect themselves. And yeah, I think it's a good point.
This situation, this story, and all these stories are a really good example of when you share your story, it opens up space for others to share theirs safely.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that can be whether it's the glove guy or really any topic.
Well, look at it, our series Encounters with Creeps. It's like
Yes.
today alone, I got 5 voice memos of listeners of Nighttime sharing encounters with creepy people. And I have a folder of, at this point, probably 50 of them waiting for us to dissect in future volumes. I think we're up to like volume 14 or 15 at this point. And it just shows that, just as you said, providing that platform, it makes it easy for other people to share their story. And there's probably some relief in getting it out there. This guy,
Oh, absolutely.
like, they had this dirty secret they were keeping. Getting it out there is
Because
probably...
they were, for some reason, probably felt embarrassed. But then once they heard others had the same experience, they were like, oh, wait, us too.
Yeah.
It's not us.
Yeah. I like the point in the story where his friends are in the back seat of the car. He has the gloves on and he realizes how insane it is. So he's like, without his friends noticing, he's trying to slowly get the gloves off. Oh man.
And just puts them on the floor.
Yeah, it's like, I'm done with these. The image of Glove Guy climbing up the driver's side door with just like, you cannot handle how attractive this is.
With like a stark erection.
And then when the friends get in, he also described Glove Guy had to almost like lower himself back down into the seat. Like, oh my God.
And like this poor guy, because his friends have no idea. They're still having a great time. And he's like, oh my God, what do I do? What have I done?
What have I done? We're dead.
How do I get us out of this?
One of the parts of his story that also, I guess, is a Glove Guy trope because of what we heard in the other stories is they were getting to a part where he thought if Glove Guy doesn't turn down here, it's on. He's taking us back to his lair or driving us into the harbor. We've heard several other people say that, like he started like going the wrong way, and I was, questioning this or that. It's
but you can tell Tom is a really good guy.
I like
because him. I can't remember if it was this story or whatever, but it's like I said, like, get out and leave the weak behind. He did not.
No.
You don't have to outswim the shark. You have to outswim your friends. He went back to hit for his friend.
Yeah.
He saw his friend was still in the back seat and was like, oh, hell no.
Yeah. What's going on out there? Yeah, he's like, what's going on out there is not good.
Yeah, I gotta save him.
He like saved his friend's lives as they just obliviously, mucked about in the night.
Mr. Magooed it through.
Good way to put it. Well, that was one of my favorite Glove Guy stories, I think.
That was really good.
I enjoy that. But let me tell you, we're going to end this with a real treat. I don't know how to introduce this other than to say we were able to go for a ride ourselves. What I mean by that is I have a recording that is alleged to be a pickup and drop off with the Glove Guy, in which we hear all of the tropes play out, and hearing it actually happen and the things he says in the car is so shocking. I've changed their voices somewhat to protect the guilty and the innocent of any crimes committed during this recording, but I didn't change it so much that you can't understand how creepy and I'll say shocking and frightening this whole encounter is. Do you think you got what it takes to go for a ride in this situation, Madelayne?
I don't know. Am I
Well,
going to crawl out of my skin?
yes. But you better buckle your damn seatbelt because it is about to get really weird.
I'm ready, I think.
Okay. This isn't the actual scene, but let's set a typical scene using the glove guy tropes we've learned. You are downtown Halifax. You had a wild night. You probably drank too much. You're probably having a hard time finding a cab. And probably an SUV pulls up, rolls down its window, and offers you a drive. You're probably not sure if it's if it's a random person or an Uber or a cab, but you're desperate, so you get in the car and take the drive. Here's what happens next.
What's going on tonight?
Not much. This came from Better Inn.
Better in. Oh, right on.
I'm just trying fucking around. I just want to fucking party. Hawk, what are you doing?
I'm just heading home, buddy.
It sucks.
Oh, doesn't it?
The fuck, that sucks.
Yeah, I just got off work.
Oh, you work?
Yeah, I was a bartender.
Oh, which bar do you? But where are you going tonight?
To my house.
And where's your house?
Step on Quimple.
Okay. I just fucking dropped around the fucking hot job.
Oh, yeah? Nice start.
I know. Yes, so I love fucking drive rabbit. Yes, to tell you, fucking she speeds.
Yeah?
She fucking speeds. I'll probably skip dance right out of you.
I don't know, buddy. I drive fucking...
Where do you drive?
What's that? I got a Corvette. Yeah, but C5.
Oh, man.
Yeah, she scoots.
So it's sports car.
Yeah.
Wow. Let me give you this.
He gives him his business card. And so now we're about to learn what's going on. So here we go.
Fucking read this. You probably know of me anyway.
Premium quality gloves. Right on.
I have driving. I have the open holes, the open knuckles, the works. I have the fucking works. If you're driving a sports car, you gotta be driving with driving gloves. You got to.
Yeah.
You gotta be wearing fucking driving gloves.
I don't know, but I don't really wear gloves.
No, but I'm gonna show you two pair, and you're gonna fucking say, oh, well, you know, maybe I may think. I may fucking think. Fucking la. Look at the fucking knees. Put that in your wallet. Put that in your wallet.
Alright, it's going right in, bud.
When do you work next?
Sunday.
Mrs. Monday. Yeah. See, you don't work till Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. There's not a fucking lot of things. Well, they think. Do you want it? I'm gonna ask you this. Well, you want to get fucking high as shit?
What do you mean?
Do you want to get high as fucking shit?
On what?
Molly.
No, I don't do Molly, bud.
You don't do fucking Molly?
Nah, cuz I don't fuck with Molly.
Look. I ship this fucking shit off. If you're fucking driving a sports car, you gotta have the fucking gloves. You gotta have, look. I'm only gonna show you two types. Yeah, that's the one style I wear. Okay? And this is the second style.
Okay. The knuckles open. Yeah. I don't know. I wear gloves on my bike. That's it.
On your what? What kind of bike?
I got a street bike.
Well, good for you. And I have sport bike gloves too.
Like padded knuckles and
Oh, fuck yes. I have motorcycle gloves, I have sport bike gloves, I have women's gloves, I have men's gloves, I have driving gloves. The whole works. Or I'm the biggest in Canada. Biggest in... I wish you fucking Molly, man.
No, buddy, I don't fuck with Molly.
Why not?
Fucks with my head. I get all depressed and shit the next day.
Not my fucking shit. I want to party.
Fuck. No, but I'm probably just gonna fucking head home, cook up a pot of spaghetti, and go to bed.
What is the scary?
Yeah, but
Ah,
bed's right out.
you should party with me. Buddy, don't worry. Don't worry. Where are you going on Crimple?
Just right up, actually, right in Athens is perfect.
I don't know where that's at. Oh.
Yeah, it's not this satellite, it's the next one.
Definitely, we gotta make sure we got our contact information.
Yeah, but
I am gonna, you know what? I'm the guy to party with. Friday and Saturday nights I go out in the arms between 2:40 or what is it? Between 2 and 4:30 I can't be home.
right here, dog.
Here? Yeah. You know what? I'll be honest with you. In the community, I have a bad reputation. I shouldn't have a bad reputation. I was in Frank magazine. I'm all over Reddit, stating I'm the creepy glove guy.
I've never even heard of you, but well, I mean, not like in a bad way, but like I've never heard you either in a bad way or you know what I mean.
Not like that. The thing is, I got this stuff, but I don't advertise it. 2 to 4, I leave my club, wherever club I'm going. From 2 to 4:30, I cab people.
Okay.
So a lot of people I cab, I promote my business. So they try my gloves on, so they think it's creepy. It's not creepy to me, I'm just very aggressive.
Yeah.
On my sales, sure. So that's all it is. I don't touch people, I don't feel myself up. I don't do, it's all over fucking Reddit, I do all this fucking shit.
Huh.
And I don't do that shit. Right? Fuck up. Well, people want to come back to my house and fucking party, 100%. I have fucking very good Molly, a very good, weed. Oh,
I don't smoke dope, but I get on dope. Fucking pass out, get in the coma, it's all fucked up.
where's that good for you then?
What?
And the thing is, I never take advantage of anybody. Oh, that's fucking under the weather.
Yeah, but
And you know what? I'm a fucking good guy. I mean, some people think I'm a creepy guy, but fuck, I'm a fucking nice guy. I like helping people out. Rebs.
right on. Thanks for the drive, dog.
Oh, fuck, man. You got my card? Yeah. You call me. And if you want to party, hey, if you want to party with me, you're fucking party.
Right on.
Because I have everything. I got a big, at my place, I got a big screen TV. I got music videos. I got fog machine. I got lights. I got fucking everything. Everything, bro.
Cool. Have a good night, man.
Look, shit.
What the
Oh my God, that was the best. That was the best one.
I want to just like sit in
absolute
silence
best
for
one.
5 minutes and take that in. The only thing that was missing was like try these on, but it was this drive that we overheard was a very short trip. It was just like kind
Yeah.
of within kind of the downtown core of Halifax. So we didn't really have enough time to pull out all the stops. But oh my God, I've never heard someone who wanted to party as bad as Glove Guy.
Well, and something that's very alarming to me is, so he always says like, yeah, I'm whatever, I give people rides. And he was explaining to this guy, like after the bar at 2:40 or whatever, aren't cabs supposed to be like a safe ride home?
Yeah, he didn't
And
seem
you're
like
pretty
I don't know if that's his like
pretty
maybe
effed up.
yeah, maybe he drinks a lot of coffee, but I feel like he probably shouldn't have been driving.
Like, and I realize that you can't breathalyze for Molly or cocaine, but like,
There are some signs.
still probably not safe.
Yeah, one of the signs are like grinding your teeth, like you gotta party with me, buddy. Come on.
Oh, he is so high strung, so excited. Yeah, you can tell he's on some sort of upper.
Something.
Oh my God.
Something has put him in a very good mood. I think it's creepy. He does not think it's creepy. I think what he's doing is objectively creepy.
Well, and he's projecting. He's like, yeah, like people post about me, but I'm not creepy. I'm a good guy.
Yeah.
And I have fog machines and music videos.
What are the music videos?
Right?
Like, was it just a bunch that he recorded?
Ooh,
What the-
I'd like to know I want to know what his internet browser history looks like.
No, you do not.
Or do I?
No. Why do you need music videos? We all have YouTube.
And like, what year is it? Music videos.
Oh man.
Just play some music and we can talk. Well, not to him.
And you can continue to try on my gloves. He was
Yeah.
so like I've heard through the other encounters we've heard described, we hear of Glove Guy getting like almost falling over his words because he's so excited. We hear it so clearly in this encounter when he's described like, you drive a sports car and you don't got driving gloves? I got driving gloves. I got open toe. I got the. He's like it's just he can't even help it. It's like a kid in a candy shop, just exploding with passion for gloves
It's
and partying.
these the driving gloves still get me. Remember last episode? I was like, who needs driving gloves? And I
Yeah.
thought about it the other day. It was like, driving gloves. Who thought of that?
It is a strange thing. Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, you have a sports car. You need these gloves." And then when the guy mentions his bike, he's like, "Oh, sport bike, eh? Oh, that's good. I got sport bike gloves. I got
That's
open,
good.
ready to let it rip."
Oh, he's got woman's gloves. Oh wow, he's got it all.
Um,
Well, and I'm wondering if this guy started recording because he was getting into an unmarked cab, or did he recognize him? Because it started recording before we knew it was Glove Guy.
yeah, I think there must have been some kind of exchange on the street or something,
Oh,
but
maybe.
uh,
Well, and then when he gives him his card, there's like a silence. He's like, You can
premium,
you can hear the wheels turning.
yeah,
Like, oh
premium
God,
leather
this
gloves.
is him. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a trip. But I think everything we heard described through the various stories, what's said in that voice memo from part one of this trilogy, it all like just is encapsulated perfectly in this story. You see that same
Oh yeah.
excitement, and we got a party. You got to try these in that raspy voice. You got to try my gloves on.
Everyone that's mentioned drugs have said that like a large bag is pulled out of the glove box. Like,
Hmm.
what?
What is maybe I'm too innocent of a person. What is Molly? You probably know. You're
It's like
younger.
MDMA, like ecstasy.
Okay, I would know it as
Yeah.
E and ecstasy. So it's like a party drug.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So you
Well,
just
and
like
I like is a powder to
mm,
my knowledge.
yeah.
So like Molly's a slang for one of them. So I
Okay.
don't know if it would be like a powder or a
Yeah.
capsule or what.
Either way, it's the kind of thing you'd have a little bit, you'd throw on the fog machine, put on a music video, and turn on the lights.
Yeah.
Could you imagine
Yeah.
what this layer is like? It must be like an 80s dance club. Just fog,
Well, and
strobe lights.
it heightens your senses too. So like the feel of the gloves would just be like out of this world.
Man, you're ready. You?
No, I'm not.
No, I don't know if you're his type based on what we've
Not for
heard.
glove guy. Yeah.
No. Well, this has been a roller coaster ride. I would not have survived it without you, Madelayne. We've grown like a callus of a callus on our souls to be able to take in these creepy encounters through our Encounters with Creep series. I think Glove Guy is another level, but man, we've been through a lot together. We got to write a. We need to go see a therapist together sometime.
That would be fun. That
Yeah,
sounds
we
like
sit down and we like,
fun.
we got a story for you. But for people listening to this show, whether you have an encounter with a creep who's an ex, a weird first date, a creepy neighbor, creepy coworker, or a glove guy or the glove guy, we want to hear about it. Go to nighttimepodcast.com/contact. Use the app and send us a voice memo, and we'll include it in an upcoming episode.
We can't wait to hear it. What if this branches out into more cities?
Meow, meow, meow. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if stuff like this, like very similar to this, is happening elsewhere. This can't be the only leather glove fetishist. Although, as we heard in that clip, he says himself, "I'm the biggest in Canada."
Well, I'm saying, like, what if he travels?
Oh, yes, kind of like tracking a serial killer, except it's just
Yeah,
like in
it's Glove Guy
1995, there was this guy. Yeah, that would be very cool. Get
for
at
us.
us, listener. Yeah. Well, let's wrap this up, Madelayne. This has been a trip. You're all the way across the country in Regina, so you are not at risk of a glove guy encounter. But knowing that this is happening,
Slim chance.
slim chance. Knowing that this is happening in Halifax, are you surprised by this?
Um, I don't know. It's surprising and it's not. I have been to Halifax, and I've spent a little bit of time in the Maritimes, and I just know that, like, I mean, there's weird people everywhere, but there's the maritime weird is just
Some
So
special
fabulous.
flavor, right?
It is.
I want to thank you for joining Madelayne Klein and I for this episode of Nighttime. For all of you Glove Guy experiencers out there, I'm always up for doing more episodes on this topic. So if you have something you want to share with me about Glove Guy, I'd love to hear from you. You can email me at nighttimepodcast@gmail.com or send me a voice memo at nighttimepodcast.com/contact. I look forward to hearing from you. Now before we part, let me end with some thanks. First, a thanks to Madelayne Klein for sharing another evening with me and with you, the listeners of Nighttime. A massive thank you to all the Glove Guy experiencers who shared their quite disturbing stories with us. I'd like to give a shout out to LJ from the Dystopian Simulation podcast, who provides my intro and outro voiceovers, and Monty Datta, who provides the music for this show. And then lastly, but most importantly, a massive thank you goes out to each and every one of you listening to Nighttime, as without your interest and your support, this show would be as pointless as it would be impossible. On the topic of support, I want to thank the newest subscribers of the Nighttime Podcast Premium feed. Frosty, Shelby, and Jordan, thank you for going premium. And for anyone else who'd like to support the show, you can help us out here in a variety of ways. First of all, a premium feed subscription costs just a couple dollars a month, and that money both funds the creation of the show, but it also gives you the episodes 2 days early, it gives them to you ad-free, and gives you access to a full back catalog of all the prior episodes. If it sounds like something you're interested in, you can go premium at patreon.com/nighttimepodcast. And even if you don't want to go premium, you can still support the growth of the show by sharing this episode on social media and letting all your like-minded friends know why they should listen. Your support in growing this is very much appreciated. Now until next time, take care of each other, hug your loved ones tight, and don't get in any strange cars late at night.
The Nighttime Podcast is written, hosted, and produced by Jordan Bonaparte.